Technical issues solved.
Yeah. It's, podcast life. Let's talk about Solo.
Alright, Matt.
Sounds good. Looks like 101 million domestically on Monday.
101. Out of what it could have been, it was like 170, right? Was the projection?
Yeah, that's just the estimate too. I mean, it could be in the 90s, and then it's like, holy shit! 5 days this movie's released over the holidays, and it only does 98 million.
It's a holiday weekend too. It's like anybody has anything going on.
Right. Besides the rain in the southeast.
Right. I mean, the rain is like not even that big a factor.
It's not even raining right now. I mean, now it's not.
I feel like if the rain wasn't even there,
I don't think it
I
matters.
think it would have been the same.
Yeah,
I don't
I think it would have been the same regardless.
Because
they pissed off their fan base.
Yeah.
Yeah. So essentially, you know, a lot of people are calling this like the reason for the $100 million opening on 5 days for Solo is because of the
Last Jedi.
Well, not only the Last Jedi, but the fatigue of Star Wars.
No, you said
The fatigue.
No.
That's what the mainstream media is going
Well, that's
with right now.
what they're saying. Yeah.
The fatigue of Star Wars. Like, who has fatigue of Star Wars? We haven't had hardly any Star Wars for, what, since the prequels?
Right,
What
and
was
like...
that, 2003, 2005?
Yeah.
You know, it's Solo. Everybody was... I mean, like, you know, before Force Awakens, if someone said they were coming out with Solo, everybody would be like, oh shit, really?
They're completely ignoring forums and all their fans.
Well, obviously.
Yeah, like they're completely
They don't
ignoring
give
it.
any credence, but the boycott seems to be
working right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, big time.
Yeah.
Big time. Disney spent over $250 million on this. We don't have the exact estimates. It could have been somewhere around $300 million for this. And because you got a 50-50 split at the box office, they have to essentially get in between the 600s to 700 mils.
Which it doesn't look like they're on.
Nowhere close. Right now, projections are maybe this will be into the 300s to 500s after all is said and done. Domestically, right now, it's almost a 50-50 split. I mean, Solo has done right now 26 million on Saturday.
25.
25 million. Okay. 25 million on Saturday. 25 million on a freaking Saturday of the opening weekend of a holiday of the movie. That is ridiculous. On Fridays of what was that movie again? The one
Rogue
One. Yeah, wasn't it like somewhere
on,
48 million or something like that?
Yeah, I'm gonna bring it up. Hold on. It was 71.
71 million on a weekday, on a work day, on a Friday for Rogue One.
Yeah.
It does 25 million on a Saturday, on its opening weekend, on a holiday. That is absolutely horrible.
You shouldn't have killed Luke Skywalker. You shouldn't have done it. You done fucked up, Aaron.
Well, I mean, like, there's only one person at the top that shares this blame, and that's Kathleen Kennedy, obviously. Kathleen Kennedy pushed her SWJ shit.
Well, not even that. It was like her
Wars.
feminism nonsense. Like, I could see feminism like to a certain degree, but like to like take something people kind of cherish and completely piss it out is like unforgivable. Like I was saying, like there needs to be like legal consequences for what happened.
Legal consequences? We're gonna sue them.
Yeah, we're gonna sue them for the distress that they've caused in ruining these last 3 Star Wars movies.
So Friday for what do you call it? For Rogue One, Friday was $71 million. Saturday was $46 million, and Sunday was $37 million. So just to give you a perspective, it did more on Sunday, on its 3rd day of release on that weekend, than Solo did in its first Friday release.
How crazy is that?
Solo did 34 something.
I think they've just turned off all of the the diehard fans. They've turned them off. Like they're just not even diehard fans anymore. So you don't get the people talking about Star Wars as like energetically as they would have before. They're just like, oh, did you see fucking Star Wars? It's so shit now.
So they give you like the 22 million. So what do you call it? Got into for December 23rd. Got to 22 million, 22.8 essentially. On the December 24th, 15, and December 25th, 25 million.
Yeah.
And that was its second weekend release.
Wow.
On Monday, the 26th, the day after Christmas. Christmas on the 25th, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
December 25th.
So the day after Christmas, it did 32 million on that Monday after. And we were talking about that earlier at lunch, like how much it did just that. That's like, I don't know, 8 or 9 days after, what do you call it?
Yeah.
71 million on a Friday this did 53 total. What's its, what do you call it?
International and domestically?
International is 1 billion.
We're talking about Rogue One right
This
now?
is Rogue One.
Rogue
Okay.
One, yeah.
Rogue One did internationally 1 billion, which is very very good for a movie that is a side story. That was something like when people start comparing it to the other trilogy, it's hard to compare it to that. But when you start comparing it to Rogue One, then a side story that no one knew the characters. Like this has three characters that are extremely well known.
Lando, Chewie,
and Solo, yeah. So these are characters that are extremely well known in the
Well-loved.
franchise and well loved characters. Especially, I think
they're
Lando.
not it's not a Jar Jar Binks movie.
No, but I feel like also Lando should have sold some tickets because he wasn't in the new movies.
Yeah.
This is our first opportunity to see Lando outside of the original trilogy, which he's a very
Outside
beloved
of screwing Han Solo over.
Yeah, but he didn't. He screwed him. But in the Last Jedi, he blew up the Death Star and everything with the Millennium Falcon.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Lando was a real hero.
Yeah,
but when you first met Lando,
Right.
he screwed Han over by turning him into Darth Vader.
But he was also trying to save the city. Well, let's give him.
Right. He was trying to do the best.
He was trying to save that. He was governor of Cloud City.
And then he was like, God, what have I done?
Right, but he helped him. Chewie starts to choke him out like.
The good old days. The good old days when.
But I feel Lando should have sold a lot of this too because we haven't got to see any more story of him.
They fucked it up.
Well, they changed Lando pansexual.
Yeah,
that's
sexuality is fluid.
kids.
Like, why did they have to,
seriously.
they've never really introduced sexuality into Star Wars until this movie.
Did
you hear that,
Huh?
Did you hear them explain that? Like, the idea that sexuality in Star Wars would be fluid? Like, you would have different species and different...
How the fuck would they know that? How would you know that? Like, what kind of crazy, perception do you have that you gotta sexualize a fucking universe in a galaxy a long time ago? You had to, it was for kids, and you said, oh, we gotta put dicks and vaginas in this fucking thing.
Well, there hasn't been one sex scene in Star Wars, has there?
No, the most you've seen is Padme kiss Anakin.
Yeah.
That's
true,
it.
Yeah.
It was never hypersexualized. They decided to hypersexualize Star Wars for some fucking reason. They had no reason to do that. Nobody's asking for Star Wars to be sexualized.
And they couldn't call him bisexual because that'd make the most sense. They call him pansexual.
No, I think he's like fucking droids. Yeah.
Yeah, droids. It's open to anything.
It's droids,
So
spaceships.
bestiality with Chewbacca too, right?
they had a college dorm room experience.
That's where that choking.
That's a choking. It was actually choking. It was like him being mad because he broke the relationship.
I sucked your dick.
You said you loved me.
What is it with Star Wars and sex slaves? I mean, that's just everywhere.
I guess that's like Jabba. Jabba was the only one that had some sort of sex slaves or whatever in there, but they didn't really classify them as sex slaves.
Yeah, it was implied, but it wasn't something.
It wasn't even that really implied, though.
Well, she was in a bikini with a chain around her neck.
Oh, you're talking about Leia.
That was pretty kinky.
That was pretty kinky for its time.
But they never really took it to that level where it's like, all right, let's make a bunch of random ass gay characters.
It was like, here's Carrie Fisher. She's hot as hell.
Yeah.
Let's put her in a bikini. That's
it. That was the extent of the sexuality in Star Wars. That was it. That was like, We didn't have to like say, all right, Chewbacca. This is who Chewbacca's fucking. All right, this is who Luke Skywalker's fucking. Like it wasn't that kind of party. Like that's what I'm saying. Like it wasn't like everybody take like the next thing they're gonna do is like, all right, Han Solo was actually addicted to crack, space crack. So
Death sticks.
That's what I'm saying. It's
You
like
don't want to sell me any death sticks.
You don't want to sell me any death sticks. So like yeah, like they got lost in the Dagobah system. On,
But seriously, that probably fucked with the movie more than anything. Lando's pansexuality probably eliminated a lot of kids.
There was like a purity to Star Wars. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
it was like kind of a whole like it was just wholesome fun.
You know what? Something's funny is the left would argue that purity extends to those sexual relationships.
What do you mean?
Like the fact that you're saying that like gay and stuff is unpure. Like
no,
that's what the left would
it just
say.
wasn't tainted with any kind of
You're
like
saying that
extra.
It's like bad what they're doing.
I'm not saying it's bad. I'm saying it's not good for a PG movie.
Right, but if you see all love is equal, like
Okay,
the left would say,
let's show kids gay porn in school.
Yeah, but
why don't we do
that? But what I'm saying is like they want to show all of that equal, and to them that's not a perversion. That is a normal sexual, or that's a normal relationship.
So percentage-wise, there's more gay people than straight people.
No.
So no. I'm making a point. I'm making a point here. What did you say the percentage of gay people there are?
You can say the same thing about interracial marriage a long time ago.
But that's more common than gay marriages.
But 50, 60 years ago, it wasn't.
That's only in America.
No, there was other countries too.
I don't think it was other countries.
Other countries had those same issues.
I don't think they had them as much as America.
They did.
Where?
They did. England had slavery
Well,
just as much as...
England.
Europe had slavery just as much as much as the United States.
But that's Europe. I mean, there's still other continents too.
Well, those other continents have black people. Like if you go to Africa, it's all full of black people.
I don't think that's
interracial.
And they didn't really have like interracial anything in Star Wars.
No, they didn't. But what I'm saying is the left would claim that the idea that you say that it's not pure.
I'm not saying it's. Well, yeah. I mean, there was.
You're saying that it's losing a purity.
Well, no. I'm saying
there's that those are normal relationships.
But that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying there's a non-sexual nature to Star Wars in general.
Right, but there's Leia and Han Solo. That was a sexual relationship.
But it wasn't. They didn't put them in a bed scene.
They weren't fucking.
They weren't fucking. Yeah, they weren't fucking.
They're just saying.
And they didn't have kids till the next movie. They didn't show them making kids.
Yeah, but what they're saying.
And they didn't have a sex scene in Attack of the Clones.
But it's implied that they were in a relationship, though. And the idea that you can't imply a gay relationship, the left would argue that is just as PG. That the gay relationship is just as PG as the Han and Leia relationship.
I wouldn't agree with that.
You don't agree with that?
No.
That's interesting. All right.
I'm just saying I don't have anything against gay people, but I don't think.
I'm just playing devil's advocate. Right?
I'm just saying I think their relationships are way more complicated than a heterosexual relationship.
But the idea that it's complicated doesn't necessarily make it wrong, though.
That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying like you're introducing sexuality where it doesn't really belong.
But you're introducing sexuality with Han and
Not
Leia.
really. That's what I'm saying. Is like you never overtly say Han and
it's
Leia
implied that they're in a relationship.
They're implied, but I'm saying.
Why couldn't you imply that two guys were in a relationship then?
Because I don't agree with that. I think.
Do you think she kept the bikini?
You think Han told her?
Thank you, Matt, for breaking up that conversation. That was hilarious. It's like, can we get back to the sexy part right now?
Another time. I wonder if Han was like.
She did go home with it.
I really like that bikini you were. You were in on that bar.
I think people growing up with two parents see it as more normal than anything. Like it's like you don't even think twice about heterosexual relationships. Like it's just you don't think twice about
people growing up with two homosexual parents.
But I'm saying
that you should feel the same way about their relationship.
That's a modern invention.
I completely agree with you.
That's in the last 10 years, really.
I would say it's a little bit longer than that.
People have been able to have, multi.
Well, it's existed for a long time. It's just not been socially acceptable.
I don't think it has existed that long.
This homosexual relationships?
No, I'm saying like people with kids in homosexual relationships.
Because they weren't allowed.
That's what I'm saying. Is like it just hasn't existed.
Right, yeah, I would say that, yeah. But mostly because it wasn't allowed, not necessarily because the want wasn't there.
But I'm saying like you're pretty much sexualizing relationships at a very early age. Like when I was younger, there wasn't any like that just didn't exist. You know what I mean?
What, sword fighting?
Yeah. No, I'm not saying like gay relationships like weren't even like sexual relationships weren't even a thought. Like guy.
But you understood the concept of guy-girl with Han Solo when you watched Star Wars.
Yeah, I mean existed outside of like when you found your parents' stash.
No, but the concept
that's
of
the only
girl and guy existed at the time for you.
Right.
Like, how old were you when you saw Star Wars the first time?
Probably like 10, maybe 11.
Yeah, I was about 11. 11 or 12 or something like that. I saw it like a little bit earlier, but didn't understand it at the time. Like, I think I saw it when I was like 7 or 8.
But it wasn't like a guy. It wasn't a traditional like guy finds girl, wins girl over. She kissed Luke too, though.
But at the end,
and then you're like, what the fuck? Like, so I guess there's incest in there. So why is it?
But it's implied at the end of.
It wasn't really incest though.
I'm more starting to have C-3PO actually hooked up with L-337. Like,
he
did
hooked up
that
with
actually happen? I mean, we got the first girl droid and we got the guy droid.
Him and R2D2.
I mean,
him and R2D2 had a relationship far beyond that.
Oh, did they have BB-8? I mean, like,
No.
I mean, was BB-8 there?
No, it was all R2 C3PO.
BB-8 wasn't alive yet.
Well, I mean, like, did they make BB-8?
So,
No.
L-337, she was a sexy ass chick. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if Lando was like actually into L-3337.
That's what I know. It's like fucking. It's like I don't know. It just doesn't belong there, in my opinion.
but they would say that the heterosexual environment, the heterosexual thing doesn't belong there either, though.
So what? Nobody does anything.
No,
like,
but
how does Luke
anybody.
Skywalker and Leia come about? Magic?
It's not that you have to leave it out. It's the idea that you.
There's only one way to make a child.
There is. I agree with you.
There's only one way to make a child.
Well, how did Anakin come to be?
Adam and Eve, not Adam and Steve.
Yeah.
No. Anakin was.
I'm not even saying. I'm saying gay couples can have children, but you still need both sides.
Well,
Yeah.
they can adopt, or one can have.
You can adopt, but it's usually that's what I'm saying.
Like they can't actually have.
That's what I'm saying though. Is like it doesn't. There's no children without the sperm and the egg.
Right. Exactly. I agree with you.
So I'm just saying. That's
Anyways,
like whatever.
what do you think the boycott has done? Do you think it actually has worked?
I don't think it's actually a boycott. So like I'm hesitant to say it's a boycott.
I don't
I
think
feel
it's a
that
boycott.
they pissed off fans enough to where, like for me, I'm not going to see it just because I'm boycotting it. I'm not going to see it because I'm so disappointed with Last Jedi and the bullshit that's around Star Wars that I'm just not going to go see it. Like I didn't see the preview. I just had no interest in this movie just because I feel Disney's going to fuck it up.
Yeah.
After what do you call it? Force Awakens came out. I was like, it's kind of just like A New Hope.
Yeah.
But I was like, all right, you're rebooting it. I understand you want to get a new generation involved with it. They wanted a woman as the main character. I can understand that one. Like I can understand because Disney has a lot of female characters in their things. I understood that, but at the same time, you need explanations for the things that she can do. And so I was hoping Last Jedi would do that and build upon the story. And all we got was a leftist orgasm. Of just bullshit.
SWJ.
Yeah, just SWJ bullshit. And I was just like, this movie did not exist. Had it never been made, we would have never lost anything of of Star Wars.
George Lucas is left leaning, isn't he?
He's very left leaning. Yeah.
Yeah.
He says he sold the Star Wars to white slavers.
White slavers.
That's exactly that
That's
was a
what
quote
he
from
said.
him. Yeah. He feels he sold Star Wars to white slavers.
Oh, that's an interesting thought.
Yeah, you can look that quote up, but he said that, and I was just like, Jesus Christ, dude! I mean, like, it's
That's
just
a bit.
a corporation.
That's like a bit overblown, man. Like,
But his wife is black.
well, I don't know. What you're saying? That thought came from her, maybe.
No, I just think that like he might be more.
It's funny because like I know a guy.
sensitive.
He's like a white guy married to a Jamaican lady, and like I said something. There was like a meme I showed him, and he was like, "White people." And I was like, "What the fuck?" It was like yeah. It was like the weirdest. I was like, it wasn't even. I didn't even like mean it in like a racial way. And he was like, "White people."
But he's white though.
Yeah, he's a white guy. I I thought that.
I had a friend. She's
was
she was at the
You know,
time.
outside of politics, I don't think he likes what they done with Luke.
No, I
The
don't
whole
agree with that.
Just as
story.
far as like caring about the story itself.
Yeah.
Like even if you kept the Lando stuff, all right. I don't really mind. Like Lando's gay or whatever. You can't.
Honestly, had they gone gay, I would be more open to it than the pansexual thing.
Well,
Yeah, it's like they're
they've
doing-
gone gay though.
it's like
because
they're-
he was such a woman's lady in the Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
It's hard to believe that he would be, but had they gone that way, or like had they made
It's hard to believe Billy D would swing any other way.
All right, yeah. It's just like he was ladies' guy though, like you said, in Star and.
Well, did you hear the backlash? There's a backlash in the African American community with you made Lando into a transsexual, and he's the ultimate fucking player of the fucking galaxy, motherfucker.
Well, they've been doing that a lot. I mean, there's a whole like the Quincy Jones article.
I mean,
like,
there's a huge backlash on that too.
Yeah, there's been a lot of like. It's like usually in the African American community, they're not very accepting of homosexuality, like in general. Like it's usually like, if you're gay, like you're not even, included.
You're not black anymore.
Yeah, yeah. It's like
You're out of the club.
you're
If
not.
you're not getting booty, you're not getting it.
I like that. Well, that's the fun. There's a
Bitches and hoes.
there's a guy that had his name was Reggie McFadden. He's a comedian. He was on In Living Color, but he had stand up. He did stand up, and he was like he was talking about his cousin was gay, and his grandmother like hated it, and like she was like he's like, you're gay. Why do you gotta be gay? Can't you just fuck women in the ass?
So much better that
So I don't know. It's not to take. I really don't care. Like the gay people, like they can do whatever they want. I don't have any problem with that.
As long as it's not in Star Wars.
As long as it's. Well, I mean, even it could be in Star Wars, but I mean, it depends on how you approach the subject. You know what I mean?
Create a fucking gay character.
Yeah.
Don't let it be Lando.
There you go.
I don't think
That's what I'm
give a
saying.
shit,
Yeah, like,
you know?
why are you changing history now?
Right. It's like, oh, Lando's always been gay.
Yeah,
No, he's not.
Lando's
Bullshit.
yeah.
He wasn't gay then.
They go to Cloud City and he's got like a fucking boyfriend.
He's got like manslay.
He's got a pool boy.
He's got some manslay back there.
He's got a helium pool boy. That's like, Mr. Lando, do I need to do anything else before I go home? There's one more thing.
Well, you know,
I've always wanted to do this on Millennium Falcon since I lost John. I need to borrow the Millennium Falcon for a minute.
Oh god, you're not gonna have sex with another pool boy.
Lando, this is the last time.
God damn it, Lando.
And C-3PO walks in on him.
Yeah, at least.
Oh my.
Yeah. He does like this, like, oh my.
Oh,
oh my.
Why don't you come join us?
he is pansexual.
Well, outside of that, Disney, I mean, not Disney, but Lucasfilms really screwed this up. I mean, they added the pansexual thing. There was the boycott. Excuse me. There was a boycott, too. And then there was, like, all the people that weren't a part of the boycott but didn't like how the last Star Wars movie ended, too. So they're kind of like the outliners, too. They may or may not see the movie. So it was fucking, like, just a bunch of shit just rolling downhill on this film, with all the controversy surrounding it. And they felt like they needed to add more
JW.
JW
bullshit.
It's like, I know we'll get people to go see it.
Yeah.
Like I feel like it's complete backwards to their thought. Like, reality, like, they don't live in reality.
Well,
Like, they need to add more.
Well, they made a toy. They made a toy of something that people didn't really see as a toy. You know what I mean?
What?
The whole Star Wars story. in
Oh,
general.
yeah, that's true.
They're like, oh, let's just fucking do whatever we want. It's ours now. And
Well,
it's like
also-
it's not yours. It's the fans, and you have to cater to those fans.
Well, they don't care about doing that.
That's what I'm saying. Is like
Kathleen
this,
Kennedy does not care about
This-
the fans.
this-
She is not a Star Wars fan. She just wants to push her agenda through
Yeah.
the movie.
So I'm saying, Kathleen Kennedy, build your new email list without the fans that were Star Wars fans before. That's what she has to do now. Because everybody clearly is in opposition to whatever vision they have for Star Wars right now.
Yeah.
What do you think the future holds for this? The downfall.
I think they fucked it up. They might have to sell it off.
$4 billion.
No.
You don't think they're gonna
I
sell
don't
it?
think
I
they're
think
gonna sell off
I don't
the
think they'll accept it until the next movie.
No, they're building a theme park for it. I don't think they're selling it.
Well, I'm saying
If
they're gonna
anything,
waste a lot of money, but
I think they're going to do a fucking reset.
I don't think they're going to do that. I think they won't accept it until the last movie of this other trilogy. So they're going to write this off to other bullshit. They won't accept that this is because fans.
it's
don't
the
like
weather,
it.
it's the directors.
Yeah, they'll write this off. You'll see, like, it'll come at, like, the director's moving, we kind of messed up, we should have gone back into it. They will write it off to other things. They will not accept it. It's when the next movie of the trilogy comes out, and that movie does worse than expected, that's the only time they'll accept it. And they'll close out that chapter, I think, and they will take a different direction. I think that's the only time. Now, if the other movie does just as well as the other ones, then they'll just say, Solo didn't work and we won't make any more Solo films. But the idea that this is... They're not going to do that on one film. This is like, maybe Solo as a film didn't make work.
You know what they're going to test it with? The Obi-Wan movie.
I think they'll put that on hold until the next one comes out.
You think so?
I don't think they're making Obi-Wan.
Oh, so you're going to say they're going to do an
I
episode
think
9?
they want see Obi-Wan till the 2020s.
They're going to do
if it ever happens.
They're going to do an episode 9.
Episode 9.
He's going to be too old then.
Who?
No, he's going to fit the part. Even if he's too old, he would fit the era
age.
that they want to run with.
Oh, they can make a
do
book
it
out
10
there,
years before
Because he doesn't look that old.
A New Hope.
He's going to be like, fuck it. He's
Ewan-
47. Ewan McGregor's 47.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he
but
doesn't
at
look that old.
57, he could still do 10 years before A New Hope.
He can
Because
still dye his hair.
And it doesn't have to be him either. That's
It does have to be him.
It doesn't.
I'm not going to see it unless it's him.
Really.
yeah.
They don't have to do an Obi-Wan movie though. That's
Even
the
if
thing.
they do an Obi-Wan movie, I think they could make it 10 to 15.
Well, they're
years
gonna make
after
the Boba Fett movie.
I mean, they can adjust the timelines for whenever they want to tell the story.
Yeah.
They could have him be like 60 years old, Obi-Wan, going out to do his Jedi shit.
Well, he's gonna be 50 in like 3 years. So.
But I swear they will not.
I think it'll be fun.
They
And
will
even
not
if
do
he's
it.
55, he could play a 50-year-old.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, like they can adjust timelines for whatever they want.
I mean, yeah. Liam Neeson was like probably 50 when he did.
Yeah, he
Qui-Gon.
looked like he was in his 40s.
Yeah.
Qui-Gon.
Qui-Gon. So what was I gonna say? Boba Fett. They're gonna have a Boba Fett movie.
They're gonna fix
Maybe.
that now.
After they declared it a bomb, which they just did today.
Well, Disney hasn't declared that. Other
Well,
people
Disney
have.
can't. Disney can't declare it a bomb.
Yeah, they won't declare it a bomb until
They're too invested.
a
Too
month or
like
two
like a
down
month.
the line.
Yeah, it was a bomb.
They'll
when
make
it's
excuses
obvious.
though. They'll make excuses.
Oh
for
yeah,
it, too.
definitely.
But they won't accept that the fans are upset until the episode 9 has a problem.
I don't know
Yeah.
if this bombed so well. I mean, like what we're looking at right now, 100 million over the opening weekend. We're looking at maybe, it's about 130, 140 after Monday, right? So in between the 120s and 150s after Monday. So if it's in between that and the week 2 comes in and it's like at 200 million and it doesn't look like it's going to break the 400s, I don't think they can deny that much longer. I think that's a big enough bomb off of the production cost of 250 to 350 million, where they have to make 6 or 700 million to make a profit off this movie. I think that's a change of direction.
Well, it's like Tom said. They're gonna blame everything else.
They'll blame
Well, they could blame everything
They need
else,
more than
but
one
they
film.
know what it is.
They
Well,
know
internally.
They know
Internally, yeah.
internally what it is.
Yeah.
So either they change direction or the next movie that follows, which is episode 9, the next movie that follows is going to hit the same exact, wall.
Yeah.
They're gonna have to fucking do something different. So either they do it now, some projections out in the media right now is that if this bombs to the 400s or 500s, that Disney may actually delay episode 9.
They're gonna have to. They're gonna have to.
For another year.
They're gonna
or
have to
two.
fix. Because I was just having that thought. Like, would you guys see episode 9 in theaters?
No, not right now.
No, not at all.
Not at all.
Not
after
interested.
this pansexual thing. Like Solo, I was gonna go see it like just later. But this pansexual thing with Lando.
Well, it was like a
shut
buzzword.
down.
I think the problem is it was a buzzword, pansexual.
You know,
You know what
all
I mean?
this can
Like,
be
it wasn't
blamed
like-
back to General Akbar. I mean, once you fucked with General Akbar, once you fucked with General Akbar, that fucked the whole thing up.
Admiral.
Seriously.
Not General.
Admiral.
Admiral Akbar. Admiral Akbar. Once
Mr.
you
Trump!
Once you fucked with Admiral Akbar.
No, I think what did it was purple hair. Well, yeah, I guess it's fucking Admiral Akbar.
She
but
took
purple hair.
his role.
But she did that before. She did that at the beginning of the movie.
It should have been the Admiral Akbar maneuver.
Oh, what do you call it?
I don't even remember.
Vice
her name.
Admiral Gender Studies?
Yeah, Vice Admiral Gender Studies.
I don't know her name.
I really can't
It's also
remember
that
her name.
H, Holtel or something like that?
It's like,
No one can.
No, but I call her
No one
Vice
knows
Admiral
who she
Gender
is.
Studies. I've always called her that. Since
And she was just like, she just fucking...
And diversity hire.
I think...
You know, you have the whole fucking Star Wars universe. It would have been easy to put Mon Mothma in that position.
She's
if
dead.
you're gonna fucking kill Admiral Akbar, put Mon Mothma there.
Yeah.
You
I
know?
think she's dead already.
I never seen that on the screen.
Isn't she?
No?
No?
No, she was
I don't know.
supposedly in Coruscant, still run the Senate and shit.
Oh.
You know? Coruscant was never destroyed in The Force Awakens. Coruscant's still there.
Yeah.
You know, there's still the
It
Senate
should have
and
been
everything
Admiral
else.
Akbar.
They never fucking showed us Coruscant and Mon Mothma being ahead of the whole shit.
If you had real Star Wars fans...
It should have been Admiral Akbar, but if you're going to kill Admiral Akbar and you want to replace her with a female SJW, then you use Mon Mothma.
And you're gonna make Poe look like a dick.
What do you mean?
Oh my
Like
god,
they
you
just-
made him look like a fucking idiot.
Yeah.
You build him up in The Force Awakens to be this great
The
pilot.
best pilot in the squadron.
Yeah,
and
then you fucking...
You make him look like a complete idiot. Yeah, like he doesn't fucking know what's going on.
And he fucking fails at everything.
Yeah.
He doesn't succeed at nothing.
Yeah. That's like...
There's
that's like one of the biggest problems.
There's not one great male character in the new Star Wars. Not one. They demoralize all the other male characters in order to prop up the female
Luke
characters.
has no idea what the fuck's going on.
Luke is not even a shell of himself. Even Mark Hamill
He's like
thinks
worse.
that.
He's like worse than a shell of himself.
Yeah, it doesn't even fit with the character. There's not one great... Finn is a fucking coward in the next movie after he grows out of that in the first movie.
Yeah.
You know? Fucking trying to run away in a fucking shuttle pod, you know, as soon as the fighting starts.
You know, what's funny is the left would claim that all the other movies didn't have any strong female characters.
Fucking Leia was
Whoa,
a strong
what was
female
Leia?
character.
No, but she's not a hero. She had to be saved by the other two.
But she still helped out.
She was basically a princess that had to be saved.
I wouldn't
From
agree
the
with that.
original ones. From the original
That's
film.
like-
She was the one who fucking lead the charge out of the Death fucking Star.
Yeah.
She was the one to be like, give me this fucking blaster, I'm gonna blast a hole in here and we're gonna go down into the fucking
I
trash
agree with you,
bag.
yeah. But they would say that there's just one, and then you had an entire movie of strong male
And then you had
characters.
Padme. You had Padme.
But not
in
in the original trilogy.
But
in
I'm
the
saying,
original
like,
trilogy, you didn't
You
really
had
have
Mon
strong...
Mothma in the original trilogy, although she didn't
But
get
she
very
was
much
very-
lead time, she was the fucking leader of the whole organization.
yeah.
But
Yeah.
that's what the left would say, though, that you didn't have a lot
Well,
of females.
their
and they're switching.
narrative doesn't fit with the overall story because the fucking leader at the top was Mon Mothma,
Yeah.
right? Right? She was the fucking leader of everything. And then you had Princess Leia, who was also leading shit from the ground. You know? Because that whole female shit doesn't work in Star Wars because it doesn't fucking matter.
Well,
And it didn't fucking matter until this shit came out.
it was more of a military operation too. And
That's
in,
true, yeah.
in the military, there aren't many.
10%.
Yeah.
10% of females are in the military.
Yeah.
You mean
So that's
10%
like-
of the military is female.
10% of the military are females,
Yeah.
yeah.
So I'm just saying, like, that fit with the kind of construct of Star Wars. It's like, as far as military goes.
Right.
I mean, in a military situation, all you can really write is what you know, right? So, like, he wrote, George Lucas, what he knew at the time was to be what the military was.
Did you notice how in these films, though, like half the pilots are female? Whereas they were like a nun in the original trilogies?
Yeah.
That's part of the SJW thing is like, oh, half has to be female.
There was a couple.
Which I don't even mind. I don't mind that much.
The original trilogy,
Yeah.
though.
I don't even mind it that much. The thing is what, like I said, with Poe, with Finn, with fucking Kylo being a bitch, with
Kylo is a bitch.
with fucking Snoke was a bitch too. Every male character in there, Luke was a bitch. Like they had to emasculate every man in Star Wars in order for the females to surpass them.
De-emasculate. Like they de-emasculated.
Well, you can't
the whole fucking
de-emasculate
cast.
emasculating.
Everyone except Han Solo, who died in the most fucking retarded way possible. You know?
Yeah.
Everyone.
Like-
you have a fucking general that fucking walks out to some suicide maniac brat kid who's his son and he's fucking just going to be holding his lightsaber while he's holding it.
Yeah.
Give me a fucking break.
And there's something
That's so
there's something ironic about the females, like, you know, emasculating males. Like the females have to exhibit male traits in order to be successful to the feminists, whereas they can't be successful with feminist traits. They can't be they can't have feminine traits and still be successful.
No, because feminists don't like females.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, like it's ironic that you have to.
They hate femininity.
Yeah.
They have penis envy. Essentially, I mean, it boils down to they have penis envy.
Chew on that. Seriously, chew on that dick. But anyways, all right. Do you want to
move on?
Yeah, you want to go and you want me to read some lyrics?
Are we reading lyrics?
You want me to read lyrics?
Was this one of our things that we were gonna do?
Yeah.
All right, let's do it.
All right. This is "Move Something" by the 2 Live Crew.
2 Live.
Drop your drawers and open up your legs wide up. Bitch. Drop your drawers and open your legs wide up. Or wide. Drop your drawers and open your legs up wide, bitch. Drop your drawers.
Droids.
I've been wanting to tell you this for a while. I like your fake blue eyes and your hoey style.
Are you pansexual?
So let's go for a walk through the park. You can suck my dick in the dark.
Yeah, that's fucking art there.
And just do what I ask, bitch. Bend over. Let me ride your backside like dogs do each other. I know that you're with it, so don't start fronting. I don't want to be your man. I want to move something. You might as well give up the pussy. Oh no. You might as well give up the pussy. Oh no.
What is this from?
This is the 2 Live Crew. Move something.
The what crew?
The 2 Live Crew. Me so horny?
Oh, okay.
Listen up, baby. You look real pretty. Let me pull up your skirt and suck your titties.
That doesn't make sense.
Morgan Freeman did that.
Oh.
Yeah. Yes, pretty lady. I love you so. Since the time we met, my dick has grown. All right, I think that's enough. You want to go to the bridge? No, I'm kidding.
I think that's enough of that.
That's enough.
And who are those folkly lyrics from again?
The 2 Live Crew.
The 2 Live Crew.
Uncle Luke.
We should definitely do this every
Nelson.
This is too funny.
All right, so let's
song lyrics with Nick.
We'll call it song lyrics with Nick. Let's go into your top story. My top story for the week.
What was your top story?
Was that guy getting arrested at your?
At mine.
He got arrested in front of your house.
Oh, I forgot about that. Oh, so that's your top story?
I wanted to hear more about that. Like, you only told me what we could text about.
Oh yeah, I forgot. We were just texting back and forth. I forgot that even happened. Holy crap!
How did you forget that happened?
All right, so what do you call it? I went to dinner with a friend.
Start when we moved in. I helped him.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Okay, so I moved into a place. This was in February. Nick came up and helped me move into a new place because I have no friends where I live, and so that's enough to come up and help me. No, all my friends are like married and shit. So
yeah.
What do you call it? So I moved into this new place, and I have the truck backed into the driveway and removing all the shit into the house, and I go in the house for something, I forget what it was, and then Nick sees my neighbor, who is to the right of me, pull up in his car, and he gets out of the car, and he said, like, huh? Like, you just waved? Or he said,
yeah, I was like, what's up, man? Like, you're like just greeting the new neighbor.
Because he's like roughly our age, like he's in his mid-30s, I would say.
Yeah, well, I'd say he's like maybe late 20s.
Late 20s, early 30s.
Yeah.
Our age, though.
Right.
Like, I'm 33, I think. 32, I'm trying to
You think?
So, I mean, he looked like we were roughly the same age, and so it was like, hey, man, like, you were like, hey, how you doing? Completely ignores
Does not say anything.
Right.
He looks at me, blank stare, and then gets in his car. And I smell weed.
Right. And so...
So like, okay, and then he has a child. He's like either his daughter or like a niece in the back seat with him. Reeks of weed.
So, and I've like seen him a few times, but he's never acknowledged my existence. Like,
Oh,
he's never
so you've
looked.
seen him since then?
Oh yeah, like we pulled in at the same time, or he's like in his car or something like that.
And never said hi or anything?
No, never acknowledged my existence. And given it's not like we're somebody who you don't want to approach, like the other guy. Remember the older guy came over and
Yeah, the older guy was really super nice.
which was on the other side of the house of this guy.
Yeah.
He's at the far end, and so he came over and like introduced himself. How you guys doing? Just moving in. You know, so he was pretty cool.
Parking shit here.
Right, yeah, partying shit here. Yeah, he was, because the last people that rented my place was 3 people, and so it's just me in this place now.
Yeah.
And so he was like, yeah, parking's kind of a bitch since there was 3 people. But anyway, that guy was acting weird, and I've smelled, like, getting out of my car and going up to my door, I've smelled weed, and smelling it at my front door.
Yeah.
And which is a good, like, 50 feet from where his car is parked.
Yeah.
So, like, he's smoking a lot of weed, and...
Not that there's anything wrong with that, but it is so,
I've never done weed, I know
illegal.
what it smells like.
Yeah.
You know, so it's not anything wrong with weed, it's just, obviously, you probably shouldn't be doing it around your children.
Yeah, that's the only thing that I have a gripe about.
Yeah, I mean, obviously you shouldn't be drunk around your children, you probably shouldn't be smoking weed around your children.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I don't really know him, I've never even spoken to him, you know, anyway. So I come home, this is a couple weeks ago, I got home later than I normally got home because I went to dinner with a friend, and I'm pulling into my complex here, not my apartment complex, but the housing complex.
Yeah.
And I go through the gate and I turn right onto my street, and there's 3 cop cars creeping down my street, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on there? Because like my neighborhood's a very quiet neighborhood. Like I've never seen cops. I've never seen, you know, like I don't like it's not like an apartment like. The apartment I used to live into, like, they got arrested every other week, the people next to me.
Oh, wow, really?
Yeah, she would just, like, end up hitting him, they would call the cops, and they'd arrest one of them. They were so fucking dysfunctional. I didn't realize it until, like, I spent, like, a Monday home one day.
Upstairs?
No, this was next door.
Oh,
they were loud as fuck.
On the first floor?
Yeah, on the first floor. I had no idea how loud they were, either. Because I'm never home. Like, I'm gone 12 hours a day, so...
Right.
But anyway,
even when I come over, I don't remember them ever flipping out.
Well, you were always on the weekend though. Like,
Yeah.
So like they were never like rowdy on the weekend, but like during the day I could hear them yelling at each other constantly.
Holy shit.
So anyway, different story.
Yeah, it's a different.
So they stop halfway down the street and they get out, and the last guy opens up his trunk and pulls his AR-15 out.
Oh fuck.
And so as
Shit's about to get real.
Yeah, shit's about to get real. I'm like, oh, they're here for a reason. And so I drive like slowly past them because like I don't want to fucking spook them or anything.
Yeah.
And the other guy has his AR-15 too, one of the other ones, and they're pointing at my building. Now my building, our houses are grouped in 4s.
Right.
So you know they're townhomes, they're 2 stories, but they're grouped in 4s, which is common for townhomes.
Right.
So they're pointing at my like group of 4s. I'm like, I wonder what the fuck is going on. Not my business though. So I'm a big advocate of minding your own fucking business. So I pull into my driveway, get out of my car, grab my bag, get out of the back seat. I look at them, they're still pointing my way. I'm like, well, if they were here for me, they would have fucking they would have moved on me already.
Yeah.
Go into my house, not my fucking business, right? So I change whatever, and I look out the room that I use for my office. I look out that window because I can see the front from that window.
Yeah.
And I see that the cop cars are pulled in behind. One's behind his car next to me, so our driveways are like a foot apart.
Right.
And so he's blocking in my
There's
truck.
like a good thin grass strip.
Yeah, it's a little thin grass. He's blocking in my truck, but he's behind his car. And then the other car is in front of the walkway area, and 2 guys are standing there behind the car with their AR-15s.
Shit.
And there's like 8 or 9 cops. 2 go behind into the backyard, and I wouldn't want to be the guy that has to knock on the door and be like, get your ass out here. And so I'm watching this from my like window, like I have the little blind open, like I don't want anyone to know I'm actually watching it because it's not my fucking business. I want to know what's going on, don't want to be involved.
I'm just flying this drone here.
Just recording the shit, not my business. You know, he comes out, he won't shut the fuck up too, which is like the thing that like I always.
So he's like yelling.
No, he was like comes out, he's like, this is too much, and they're like yelling at him, just turn around, like. Just fucking turn around. They're gonna put cops on you, no matter what. You're gonna get your ass shot.
They have like 3 cop cars here. They're going to fucking arrest you.
They have the other streets blocked. They had like 6 cops cars.
So they were. Yeah, he wasn't getting out.
No, he wasn't leaving, but it's like they don't know what he has. They
Yeah,
don't know
yeah,
if he has
yeah,
a
yeah.
hostage. Like, he has 2 kids with him. Like,
Yeah.
so I can see their precaution with this, but like, it just shut the fuck up and just turn around. Like,
Yeah,
you can
yeah.
tell someone, like, into my opinion, you can tell when someone's like kind of guilty is when they won't shut the fuck up.
Yeah, they're
When-
trying to
when
delay.
someone's
They're
not
trying to
guilty-
delay everything.
Right, when someone's not guilty, they're just like, okay, let's go through the process because they know they're going to get out in an hour or so. Like,
Yeah, yeah,
they
yeah.
respect the law enough to know that, like, all right,
Like Harvey Weinstein.
exactly. When you break the law,
Well, no, he's not. Not that he's not guilty. He's just like has the money to get out.
right. But what I'm saying is, so they cuffed him and they talked to him for a few minutes, and eventually they took him away.
Yeah.
But it was kind of crazy. And then one cop car stayed for a while, talking to the kids or something like that. I haven't seen him since,
Holy shit.
and that was like a couple weeks ago now.
And you said he got arrested for like fighting somebody in a club or
I
something?
heard something about like because I couldn't
Does
really
he have a
hear-
girlfriend that lives with him?
I've seen a girl and an older woman come, which I assume might be the mother of the children.
Yeah.
But to be honest, I've never spoken to them.
Yeah.
I've never, like, they come in a minivan, they're there every now and then, they were in my driveway once, and they're like, oh, sorry, we'll move, you know. They were just, like, trying to load something up in the van or something like that.
Yeah.
And they're like, I pulled in, and they're like, oh, we're sorry. I'm like, yeah, no problem, whatever. Like, I've never actually spoken to them, though.
It's a weird conversation to broach, though. It's like, yeah,
Right.
so your boyfriend, husband got arrested?
Well, no, this was way before that. Like,
Yeah.
I've seen them before. I've not seen anybody. Now, what was kind of weird
You
is I
haven't
saw
seen him since?
I saw a BMW in the driveway the other day.
Oh, shit, she's fucking somebody else.
No, he's the only one that lives there. I've never seen her stay. That
Uh-huh.
van is never there longer than, like...
So who's driving the BMW?
I'm thinking maybe the landlord or the lawyer.
Hmm.
Those are the only thing I can think of.
I wonder if there's any public record of any of this stuff.
You know, I didn't think about that. I could probably go through mugshots
Yeah.
and find him. I didn't think about that. I could have gone through mugshots the next day and found like what he was actually arrested for. It sounded like he was talking about something he did in a club the night before, and that's.
It's got to be more than that, man.
Yeah, it's got
They,
to
wouldn't,
be.
they wouldn't send 8 cop cars just to get you for beating somebody up in a club. Unless you, like, beat the guy to death.
That, or if you have a prior record of stuff.
Yeah, or you're like
a
you're a felon or something like that.
Right,
But, like,
yeah,
even then, I think that's still too much, 8 cop cars, right?
Still, I find it excessive. Yeah.
Yeah.
Unless
that
they were all
seems-
bored or something like that.
Yeah, it seems like maybe 2 or 3 at the max. Like, we would need to take one guy.
Right. So I just don't know what they were getting at, but it was
Yeah.
interesting to watch because it was just like holy shit. Like, we're such a quiet neighborhood. Like I don't see anything.
Did you see, like, cops filming? They're just like, they started playing, like, play the cue the music.
Cue the music.
Bad boys! What you gonna do?
You want to hear my story from the week?
Sure.
Sure.
All right. So May 20th at 1:41 a.m. there was a power outage alert and zombie alert for residents of Lake Worth and Turnus.
No.
There are now far less than 7,308 customers involved due to extreme zombie activity and restoration time uncertain.
That's not bad.
This is Florida Man. This is Florida Man written all over
Yeah,
it.
you gotta watch out for the zombies.
That was done by the city of Lake Worth.
It was a joke, though, right? I'm assuming?
No, it was an
No,
It was an accident.
It was an accident.
Oh, so they have an alert for zombie attack.
Yeah,
No,
for a
fucking
power
way.
outage
Yeah.
on May 20th.
I feel like somebody just like wrote that
That
in
was
there
the
or
city.
something.
That's fucking crazy,
Lake
dude.
Worth. So
man.
that was.
Here, let me take a pause
All right, pause it
for
for
the
the.
cause.
Are we recording or are you gonna pause it?
I'm gonna pause it.
All right. Uno dos.
And we're back.
Did you capture the uno dos?
No, I don't know if that made it in. It might have. But anyways, let's talk about the embassy
Yeah.
moving to Jerusalem.
Which is my top story.
Yeah.
So
So what you got to say?
I don't know. I think this is a great accomplishment for the United States. I mean, it's something we've been trying to do since like the fucking 70s. I mean, every president keeps delaying it every 6 months, and
Well, there were how many people died, right? Weren't there like 21 people died or something like that doing this?
Well, I'm sorry if you rush the border with Molotov cocktails and tires on fire, and you say I want to kill all Jews and then run at the border. I'm sorry, that's not why you died. You died because you're a fucking
It's
terrorist.
freedom of speech, man.
You can freedom of speech all you want, just don't run towards the border saying I'm going to kill all Jews. Like I'm sorry, like I don't feel any sympathy for the like people that died. You had no reason to do what you did.
So do you think it's going to cause any instability within Israel?
No. It hasn't yet.
Or the Middle East.
It hasn't yet.
You don't think Iran or...
They already hate Israel. They already want to kill all
But
Jews.
you don't think it's going to like speed up any attacks that they were going to put on Israel?
No, they already want to kill them.
Uh-huh.
Every attack that they want to do, they're already in the process of trying to do. There's no one in the Middle East that is not Jewish that does not want to kill every Jew.
Well, there's literally only Israel.
What? Right, but that's the point I'm making is like, it's this idea that, oh, it's going to make more violence. No, you have a group of people that want to kill every Jew in existence, and then you have a group of people that just say, our capital is Jerusalem.
That's such a weird... I don't know, man. I don't know. Like, it seems like certain stuff just needs to be let go.
Like what?
Like, kill all Jews? Like, where did that come from?
Muslims.
Yeah, that's, like, insane.
Did you see the new...
Like, it's been, like, thousands of years, hasn't it? Since, like, that's been a thing.
Did you see the new crown prince of Saudi Arabia was like, you guys just need to get over this.
Oh, really? To all the rest of the Muslims?
So he said to the Palestinians, like, you guys should either take a deal or shut the fuck up.
Oh, wow.
Like, that's basically what he said. He didn't say it exactly that way, but that's exactly what he's implying. It's like, the best deal you're possibly ever going to get is on the table right now. Either take it or shut the fuck up.
Hezbollah is in Israel, right?
Hezbollah is in somewhere, yeah, the West Bank. Like, it's like a little small section of something.
Right. But isn't Saudi Arabia funding Hezbollah?
Iran is funding Hezbollah. Saudi Arabia might have funded it at some point.
I thought they're still, like, Saudi Arabia is, like, one of those countries that's, like, they're posing as an ally of the United States, but they're seriously, like, funding, like, terrorism.
I think the old group is. I think this new prince is seeing that at some point they're not going to be able to sell oil the way they've been selling oil, and they need to do some other industry, and they need to be part of the world if they want to maintain their lifestyle.
We just need electric cars, really.
You still got to use fossil fuels to make electricity. Electric cars does nothing to...
Well, you have nuclear power.
Yeah, but they actually produce more carbon. Electric cars produce more carbon in the electricity that you make to make them run. It is fucking stupid.
You're talking about actually building, manufacturing the cars.
No, I'm talking about making the electricity. It's less efficient to make the electricity for the car to go than it is to just have a gas car. So it's the biggest fucking scam in the world.
Yeah, that is a scam. That sounds like a scam.
Yeah.
But if you have nuclear power, there'd be no carbon emissions.
Right. Yeah, there'd be no carbon. You'd have nuclear waste, though, so you got to find something to do with that.
Shoot it into space! Like we do everything else.
But this was a campaign promise of Donald Trump, and it's been a campaign promise of Obama, Bush, Reagan, all the way going back. Clinton, yeah, all of them have made this campaign promise, and none of them will follow through besides Trump. So I think it's a big win for him. The whole world hasn't ended. This was like 3 weeks ago now, 2 weeks ago, that they moved the embassy. And the world didn't come to an end like they always say it does. Like when Brexit came along, if
they still haven't solidified Brexit though, right? Like they had 18 months to solidify the terms of Brexit.
But they said
which
it's going to collapse the entire European economy. It's going to be the end of the world.
But it did decrease the British pound though.
But they've recovered since then.
I think it's still at 118.
They've recovered.
No, because it was at 1.5.
What is it now?
Alright, I gotta do this the other way. They've recovered somewhat, yeah, 1.33. Somewhat.
So they've recovered a little bit.
Yeah.
Small price to pay for independence.
So. Long live the Queen.
To be honest, I think the Queen wanted to be part of the European Union. So that was my top story. I don't know what you guys think about it, but
I don't know, man. It's a bunch of this like old religious kind of wars that are still going on. It's like so random.
Yeah, stuff that's like been going on for like 2 millennia.
Yeah, it's literally been thousands of years since Islam was founded, Christianity was founded, and
more than 1,000 years for Christianity.
Judaism as well. So it's like they've all been kind of like they've all originated in that spot of the world, but they're still kind of like fighting the same fight.
And what's interesting is Islam hasn't always been, well, Islam has been this way. Muslims have not been this way, but the what do you call it? The government entity that is not entity, but the system of government that is Islamism, it has done this. Whereas like Iran in the 70s, before the Islamists took over, they were, they were just a normal country. Like they were a lot more like Israel, where
More liberal.
Yeah, they were more liberal. They were probably a little bit more what we would consider conservative today in terms of like women probably dressed a little conservatively. Like they didn't walk around in stripper stuff.
Right.
Like,
don't show your eyes or I'll beat you to death.
No, not then. That's today. But then
I heard about that.
Yeah, it was in the
Yeah.
70s. They had a normal like society just like anybody else.
Correct. Before they started covering the women up.
Right before the Islamists took over.
Before the what do they call it? It's
Ayatollah.
called, no, it's called shit.
The revolution.
Jihad.
Right. Well, jihad's the
And then what is it? Sharia law.
Sharia law. Yeah.
Sharia law.
Jihad is the fight against like the martyrdom. Like that's the fight against the infidel is jihad.
Right.
Like when you say I'm on a jihad, I'm fighting the infidel.
Right. It's like a war against the infidels.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Anyway, on to other stories.
Yeah, so what is this? Teens develop wet lung after vaping for 3 weeks. This is pretty topical.
Yeah.
We got
vapes all
we got
day.
someone vaping in the room.
Yeah.
What the fuck is wet lung? Pneumonia?
I think it's just like water accumulating in the lung, like.
Uh-huh.
But there's a lot of people that have done vaping, and I'm like, aren't you worried about like water accumulating in your lung? And they're like, no, man, it doesn't do that. And I'm like, it's if you're breathing in water vapor, it's going to condense again inside your lung, like it's going to become liquid again.
But doesn't that happen already with humidity? Like, aren't you breathing in water vapor when it's like
yeah, but not
like
concentrated water.
80%? Well, yeah, it's not concentrated.
I mean, you're actually actively breathing in water vapor.
Yeah, so you're basically giving yourself pneumonia.
Yeah, I just thought it was interesting. Like,
so, like, I mean, did they prove that it was the vape that was causing that?
I don't know. I didn't read this whole article.
Okay. So, I heard this on Howard Stern, at 1 o'clock in the morning, and I kind of just... So, yeah, the big thing with the kids now is the Juul, right?
The Juul? What's that?
It's like, that's what he has. He has the Juul.
Oh,
Yeah.
because
And it looks like a USB stick.
Oh, I was wondering what that was.
So, like, teachers mistake it for a USB, and kids get away with vaping,
While in class?
while underage.
I guess, yeah. Now, is that refillable?
Yeah, it is.
How much does that run?
$20, right?
$15 for 4 of these.
Now, I noticed you have like 2 of them. Is it just different flavors, or
I got 2 of them for backup.
one's a backup?
Yeah.
Alright. I was just kind of curious if it's just like different flavors that you like to go back and forth.
Well, they do have different flavors. They have, assorted different flavors.
So, I don't know. Yeah, that's an interesting one.
Yeah, that was.
I guess that's the studies, because that was the big thing about vaping was like, oh yeah, it's only water vapor.
Right, it's healthy. It's only water vapor.
It's fucking hydrogen engines. You know what I mean? Like, the byproduct is water.
But I feel like the idea that this is going to affect people at some point. Like, you can't just breathe in water vapor constantly and it not affect you.
I think there needs to be more study about it.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Yeah, so I don't know if this is necessarily like...
And I feel like it should be 18-year-old.
Because it just says teens develop, and then you got to look at who's putting out the study, and there's like it's like maybe big tobacco is preventing vape from ever taking off by putting these stories out. So there's a bunch of like shit like that you got to weed through.
Yeah. All right, let's move on.
All right, so what is this? Harvard all-black graduation.
So I didn't know this. Harvard was the last Ivy League school to do this, but Harvard and Yale and them, they have all-black graduations. I didn't know that they did this.
Why do they do that?
I don't know. I feel like it's reverse segregation.
Segregation, yeah. It seems like it's
like
kind of along the lines, yeah.
Like what you would want.
Like why wouldn't it, the kind of like rules out the whole diversity
right
that they're pushing for, right?
I thought it was weird too. Like I was just wondering if you had ever heard of this, but
No.
I was reading the article. Apparently, Harvard's like the last Ivy League school to do this.
It's like they play like trap music and they do like steps out while they're going. It's like Harvard's business school doesn't do that, but we respect your right to want to do it. So we'll have a separate.
We respect your culture.
Yeah. Kappa Alpha Kappa, and then they do like the like
they got girls twerking on stage.
Yeah, and then they have the one white guy that wants to fit in, and he's like,
yo, what's up?
Yo, that's Whitey over there.
Snowman can drop some runs.
That's what it seems like to me. What the fuck is going on? Like, it's like, do they choose More than 170 students and 530 guests have signed up to attend the event. So all black ceremonies have been held at other U.S. universities such as Stanford and Columbia, but this will be a historic first for Harvard.
I just feel this is backwards to what we would want. Like, I thought we would want everybody.
What is it? Harvard's institutional foundation is in direct conflict with the needs of black students. Okay.
I love the way you said it. Like, that doesn't make sense.
Well, yeah, of course. Let's go to a school that's completely against our interest. I mean, that just makes sense, right?
I feel like the school is completely against it. Like, they would want all graduates to succeed.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it's kind of contradictory.
If they accepted you, like, it's in their best interest for you.
Like, why would you want to get into Harvard and then say, like, oh, this is completely against what I need? Like,
right.
it doesn't make any sense. It's kind of a contradiction.
Yeah.
So, and then what it says, there's a legacy of slavery, epistemic racism and colonization at Harvard, which is an institution founded to train rising imperialist leaders.
Wow.
This is a history that we are reclaiming. Okay, this is like fucking insane shit.
Alright, I'm glad I'm the one that thought this was crazy.
I don't know. Yeah, like I don't agree with any of this. This sounds
like. Would you go? Like, if you graduated from Harvard, would you want to be at an all
Fuck
black?
no.
Like,
I didn't want to have an all black graduation for when I graduated college.
Right. Like
that wasn't the whole point of going to college. Was like, all right, let me have an all black exclusive graduation. That's like, it doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah, I thought it was weird. Like at first, I thought it was just them doing it. Then I read that it's like Columbia and Yale has been already doing this for a while.
Yeah, it's like we want to run everything. We want to do everything. I don't know. That's just like that's bananas to me.
I thought it was interesting. I stumbled upon this earlier this week.
Okay, last year admitted the highest ever number of African American students. However, they still comprise just 14% of the 26. That's about norm with the population.
Yeah, there's 13% of the population is black.
Exactly.
So 14% of the population of Harvard is black. Like that's representative.
It's over. I don't know what the fuck is going on. I have no idea what this article means and what this graduate. I don't condone any of this. I rebuke everything here. I can see like not even like if you want inclusion, it shouldn't be at the exclusion of other people. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
So like, they're kind of contradictory ideas. They don't really fit together.
Yeah, it's like reverse segregation. Like
Correct.
in the past, we would say the black people had to go over here, and because the white people didn't want you with it.
But
now
now
we're
it's
all
like,
together, and the black people are like, no, we don't want to be part of the white people.
Yeah.
We're gonna have our own thing.
It's
over
like
here.
you're literally choosing to be
segregated.
Yeah, like it's weird. It's like it's our choice now.
We're taking it back.
We just wanted the choice.
We didn't like you white people. We just wanted to choose not to be with you white people. We wanted to force you to make us part of your group, and now we're choosing not to be part of it. We brought our cool culture to you, and now we're like, fuck you.
I would say like an all-black graduation would be like a Howard University or something like that, or like Hampton. That's what I'm saying. Like it's.
Is there all-black universities?
I wouldn't say all-black. It's not all black. You know what I mean? But like they're like majority black, like black institutions that were started. You know, before they integrated. They integrated the schools.
Oh, okay, I see what you're saying. So
it was like kind of a way to bypass. You know, like we're going to educate people, but since we can't get into white universities, we have to start our own universities. So.
How did they learn how to play? We wouldn't let them join. Dear God, how did he learn how to play? We wouldn't let him join.
How the hell they learn to read? We didn't teach them how to read.
Brother Williams talking about, what do you call it, Tiger Woods. Dear God, how did he learn how to play? We wouldn't let him join.
That was crazy. And they had the Family Guy 2 thing. It's like, all right, so we're all in agreement. No Jews, no blacks. All right, so. All
right, one more thing.
Yeah.
We'll save the.
Are we talking about Tommy Lauren?
Yeah, we'll save the story of John McAfee for a different podcast.
Is that the guy who created McAfee?
Yeah, and it's a crazy story. And someone told me they actually Netflixed did a documentary on it. that goes through this, but this is like a little slideshow. It just tells you like the bullet points of his story.
Yeah.
It's funny. I want to read through it on a podcast. It's just funny how his life is hilarious.
We'll do that next week.
But this was a big thing going in the news this week. Was Tommy Lahren got a drink thrown at her while she was at a brunch.
Oh my God.
Somebody was like trying to harass her and stuff.
Oh man, Tommy.
I know.
There is a real world.
Trump came to her defense, and then one of her like biggest critics came to her defense too.
Who was that?
I don't think they ever. Hold on.
They
They always just say
Joy
like,
Reid?
one of her biggest critics, but they don't ever mention who it is.
Rachel Maddow?
But Trump did, and then I don't think it says it in this article because I read it later. This was like the first article of Trump just giving her support, but I don't know who it was. But I guess like a critic, one of her like biggest critics was like, you know, if you don't like harass people when they're not doing their job, you know, like she's at a brunch. This is not the time to harass people. Like we're all professionals.
Well,
here.
she was with her mom too, right?
Yeah, she was at brunch with her mom, but they were kind of just like, you know, we can all be professionals outside of like we might disagree with somebody, but we can all still like be real people, like be nice to each other.
And somebody threw like a drink in her face.
A full glass of water at her, I guess.
At least it was water.
Yeah, at least it was just water.
At least it wasn't piss
That's true.
mixed with shit.
Although I'd find it like.
No. That would be fun. Like if she like, I don't know. Those would have been like we gotta throw hands.
What?
Somebody throws a glass of anything in my face.
So you'd fuck someone up over that?
Yeah,
Really?
I would stab somebody with a fork. So do not throw water in my face.
I wouldn't give a shit one way or another.
I will come at you
I don't
like
give a fuck.
a northern bullet.
Jesus Christ!
It's about principle.
I wouldn't give a fuck one way or another.
Yeah. Really? If somebody threw water in your face?
It's just water. Who gives a fuck?
It depends. If it's a woman, I think they could get away with that. But if it's a guy,
Well, that's a bitchy guy then.
yeah,
Like,
I'm gonna have
sorry,
to have to take you down. I'm
Really?
gonna take you down to Chinatown.
Really?
Yeah. If a guy throws water in your face,
I don't give a shit.
that's like a big sign of aggression. He doesn't respect you at all.
Yeah, but I don't respect him either.
You gotta teach him some manners.
I just don't give a fuck.
No.
It doesn't bother me. Like
So you
what other
have
people-
an open invitation now for people to
Like
just
if you
throw water
punch
in your
me,
face.
then I'm fine with it. Like I'm gonna punch you back.
That's assault still. Throwing water in somebody's face, I believe, is assault.
I mean, it probably counts as assault. But if someone threw water in my face, I'm not gonna get into a fist fight over a fucking glass of water. I'll tell them to fuck off and walk away.
I don't know about that.
Like I just don't give a shit enough to like get in a fist fight over water.
I think it's important.
It's important to you.
Or I take the pitcher of water and pour it over their head.
I could say throwing like if there's something in front of us, just like all right, here's yours and goodbye.
Yeah.
Like I just don't give a fuck. Like I don't need people to like me. That's the problem for me. So it's just like
no, it's
I don't
not
really
about
give a
liking.
fuck.
It's just about people respecting. Like if people hear stories about this now, like it might be like a repetitive thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I guess.
Like you just walk up to Tommy Lahren and throw like water in her face,
You know
and she's not gonna do anything about it.
You know what's funny is like someday somebody's gonna throw water in my face, and I'm gonna be like, "You're a podcast listener. You listen to the podcast, don't you?"
Come over here. We hug over here.
How funny would that be if that like turned into a fan thing? Like people just throwing water at you.
I could not handle that. That'd be too much.
Like if it was just like a little bit of water, like people just like.
Well, it was like your water. They took your water and like threw it.
No, I mean like someone just like threw a little bit of water at you. Like if that became a thing.
No, that's
thing,
not.
how
Yeah,
funny would that
that's not like a thing.
be? That's not a thing.
Let's
no.
not start that.
Let's not start that.
No, I'm not into that.
I would laugh so hard if that became a thing.
I don't know. We'd have to get a security guard, and then he just like takes him out back and it's like escorts him and beats the shit out of him.
Jimmy, would you take care of this, please?
Yeah, Frank.
Alright.
All right. So, do you have anything else? We don't have a movie of the week.
No, we don't. We
I
can
don't
talk about Westworld just for a minute.
I don't want to. Okay. What do you want to say about Westworld?
That was
I don't want to.
fucking episode.
I don't want to spoil it.
What do you mean?
I mean, yeah, we could talk about it in general.
Oh, spoilers!
No,
Shut the podcast off now if you haven't watched last week's episode.
Yeah.
It's not really worth watching. So it's.
That's not true.
It's so fucking boring. It's such a fucking boring.
It wasn't that boring. It was like you guys playing footsie with it?
Yeah, what's his name trying?
Throw some water in your face later?
So you like the
This microphone's really doing it for me right now.
Come on, get into the community. Pansexuality for life.
Did you ever see the meme of the storm?
Everybody love everybody.
And everything.
No, literally, everybody love everybody.
This is Gary, then all the guys getting a big pile.
You want to go get in a gay pile and have sex with each other? They took her job.
Will Lando be there?
Oh yeah, he doesn't miss a fuck set.
Only in spirit, because he lived in a galaxy
Far, far gay.
far gay.
So what happened in that episode?
They went to Japan.
Yeah, they went to they never numbered that park, but it's one of the other parks, the Asian park.
Yeah. So they have an Indian park, an Asian park, and then a Westworld park, or Western America.
But I guess what they were saying is the other parks are more intense than the Westworld park.
Yeah.
Like for people that have kind of graduated out of the Westworld park, like it's more intense for them for the other parks.
Yeah, that's like crazy that they have that. Like the Westworld seemed scary enough, but like, but that was like level 1 for like the thrill seekers.
Did you assume that they would have another park?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they showed them building other parks.
Yeah, they showed the map and it was like they can't all be Westworld.
Yeah. But I'm surprised the Man in Black didn't go to these other worlds. Or you think he's been to these other worlds?
I don't know. Maybe
Because if he's looking for the thrill in Westworld,
he was there for the game though, not necessarily the thrill. He was there because he wanted to play all the games, and then he thought that other guy.
Well, he thinks there's
one
like
last game.
Yeah, he thinks there's another, but he wants it to be realistic. That was his thing. It's
right.
Like,
yeah.
Once it got more realistic is when he started to get excited. So he was a thrill seeker.
Yeah, that's true.
So like, I don't think anybody. I don't know if it was just possible for nobody to die in these other parks, or like he had been through them and they just weren't as thrill seeking. And then he had heard about another game hidden within Westworld that everybody wasn't playing.
Maybe that's true.
So I don't know.
Maybe he just liked the Western part too. Maybe he
that too. Yeah.
Like he wasn't really into the other ones.
Yeah, he didn't want to get in a kimono.
Like I wouldn't really be into the Japanese one. Like the Westworld one.
I thought the Japanese one, when they started fighting, like with the ninjas and stuff like that was awesome.
I thought it was cool, but like if I'm choosing a park to go to, it would definitely still be Westworld.
I wasn't really into the geisha thing. I don't know what that thing's about.
Oh, I thought you said
the painted
gay shit.
No.
She said I wasn't into the gay shit.
Yeah, I'm not into the pansexuality stuff at all. Like,
you're not into the geisha stuff.
Yeah, like
yeah, I don't find that attractive at all.
Yeah, I don't know, like the geisha, like the dancing, like stuff. Like I know that's their culture and everything, but like I don't know. I don't see how that gets you off.
Yeah.
Or even leads you to getting off.
I don't get that one either.
I'm just like, when they started playing the music, when she started dancing for the last one, I was like, I said out loud, just shake that ass. Let me see what you got. Like they need to play that. They just need to be a meme. Is like they cut that up of her starting to dance and they start playing 2 Live Crew. Just shake that ass, bitches. Let me see what you got.
Did you notice how small they were trying to make that set?
Were they?
So
like, you're talking about the camp, right?
Yeah. So like it's funny. I recognize some of this shit because I always think of like how would I film this? Like when I'm watching stuff.
Yeah.
And so they had this like blocked off area. Like
yeah, the wall. They had a wall, right?
They had like a little wall.
It's like a fort.
Out of paper though. It was just like made out of paper.
Well, that's how the Japanese do. That's why most of Tokyo burned down during the.
It was just interesting because like, but his like fort area didn't need to be that small, and they were just making because I feel like they built that in an area that they've already used at some point. It was just kind of interesting. I was like oh, this
behind
is
it, like you'd see Dolores
and
Teddy filming like.
Dolores. I was trying to think of her name. Oh, what she did to Teddy, that was probably the only good part of the film. Remember she
that was a betrayal. I thought she was going to kill him.
I thought she was going to kill him too, but I think she
just reprograms him.
He's floating in the river, in the pond at the end.
Like
they show that in the first episode of season 2.
Yeah.
Of his face floating.
And he's one of them. He's one of the dolls.
Right, as she says, not all of us can make it.
So I wonder where Dolores is at the. So in that first episode, they started at the end. So when they show Bernard coming and everybody, and he sees all those bodies in the lake, that's the ending.
Yeah.
Of the season.
Pretty much, yeah. They're in the ending of the season.
Yeah. So that's interesting. It's going to be interesting. When's the season finale?
Well, no, because he found her after that.
He found Dolores after that?
No, he found his helper. Remember the girl I said that wasn't dead? The one he thought he choked out in.
Yeah, Elsie.
Yeah, he finds her after they were woken.
No, I saw that. Yeah, they find that other guy.
Yeah, so it happens. So a little bit more is going on. Like there's 2 timelines, but they're not that far away.
Yeah, they're still doing the split timeline thing, which I think is awesome because that kind of adds some kind of mystery and.
I like it.
Yeah, I really do like it.
I just wish they would distinguish between the 2 timelines a little bit better.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to be able to do that.
No, with like a filter or something like that.
These fucking Redditors, dude. These Redditors.
What do you mean the Redditors?
Are animals. They always guess. Like they guessed last season. Like I kind of regretted going on Reddit and forums to see. Because I was reading up about the Man in Black. Who is he? And they're just like, oh, that's a split timeline. He's this guy and this guy. And I was like, fuck.
Well, that was
and then it came to be true. And I was like, fuck.
That was obvious with the picture thing, though. The picture was supposed to be the clue to that.
Yeah.
I watched it too fast to like pick up on that. I would have probably picked up on it like had I watched it.
But you guessed the Arnold thing. You guessed Bernard.
That I knew from like episode 2.
Yeah.
Like that was obvious to me, just because he had a backstory just like the rest of them. Like as soon as like he talked to his wife, it was just too like
bland.
Yeah, it was too bland, and like the story with his son and everything like that, it was just weird. So like I assumed he was, and I assumed she was too. The other girl, I don't as much anymore, but the security guard, I think he's a host.
Yeah, we'll see. How many episodes are left? What is this, episode 5? So there's about 4 more episodes?
I think there was 10. So
there's 10, so there's like, yeah, there's
more
about
episodes.
4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 5.
5 more
So we're halfway there.
Yeah, we're halfway there, so.
Alright, well...
Ready to wrap it up?
Yeah. Do you have anything else?
I don't. Matt?
No, good.
Any more pansexual stuff? You guys want to put any hotlines?
No. We're done with that.
Alright, I think I'm going to name this episode Pansexual Lab.
You should definitely do that.
So, the story about pansexuals.
The bathhouse in a galaxy far, far away.
Alright, let's
We look at our pansexual.
Jesus Christ, let's wrap this up.
Twink light. Alright, this is Joyce.
This is Tom.
This is Matt.
And this was the Applesauce Podcast. Thank you for tuning in.
Later.
Later.
In podcast.